And within that, like maybe 60% of our kids are actually kindergarten kids. So please imagine my life. So I'm dealing with these little kids every day, and my teachers are dealing with these little kids every day. Of course, they are like, very cute and they are very noisy. So what we do is a lot of times we ask the parents who come to our trial lessons and ask them, what do you think our trial lessons? And this is what they have written. So, at the trial lesson, we put the kid in a normal class. And a lot of times the parents usually say, oh, you have a really high level in your class. I'm a little bit worried if my kids can do it, but this is really good. And our kids are very, very, very noisy. Okay, they just shout and scream in the class, but they are not like screaming for other things. They really scream out like what we want them to say. And yeah, that works very great. But this was not from the day one that I started my school. So from day one, what I did was like any other eikaiwa. So we have these kids in like, 3 different kindergarten classes. So today we are focusing more on the kindergarten kids. So, K1, K2, K3, which is Nensho, Nenchu, Nencho, right? So we separate them into these kids, into these classes. And the problem is, as I've told you, I'm really bad at talking to air. And when we go to this K1, Nensho, the 3 years old, they are just like super duper duper cute, okay? But they just look at you like this. And you say, what's your name? Oh, do you like red or green? Like they are super, super cute, but these are the kids that we call them onigiri kids. Okay, they are like little rice balls. They have different things inside them, but they just do not speak. They do not mess up your class. They do not run around. They sit nicely, properly. They are so cute. They're little big eyes. They just do not speak, right? So this was a really, really big problem for me. Because like, imagine if you go into like, a karaoke room and no one is singing, will you sing? You will not, right? So like, when I think about that, I start to think, what are the ways I can actually open their mouth to make them actually speak something? Okay, so the solution that we tried in like in a half of the classes, we changed into a mixed age, mixed level class. That means that the Nensho, Nenchu, Nencho, the K1, K2, K3, they're all in one class right now. So 3 years old to almost 6 years old, they're all in one class right now. So a lot of time people will say this will not work because they don't have the same like vocabulary. They their brain developments are not the same, but actually it works like really, really, really well. So let's see. So for our kindergarten levels, we do not have K1, K2, K3 classes. We have this like triangular or circular mode. So we have a level that's called mint, that's a level called green, a level called lime. Nice, right? Because I like. So you can just go to any. So if you are natural, you go into like this year, we'll run the mint class and they will just be there. And next year you will go into the green class and you will just be there. And then the next year will be online class. If you join like next year and you are the small kid, it doesn't matter. So you will still join in like, the green class, and then you go to the lime class, and then you go to the mint class like that. So the good thing about it is no one actually know which class is better or higher level, right? Because it's just color coded. You can never tell that green is better than lime or lime is better than mint. Sometimes sometimes that's most of the time I forget as well, right? So
actually,
this is
lime is better than mint though, as a flavor.
why. Oh, as a flavor. I agree on that. Yeah. So yeah, so the good thing is like number one is of course the kids are together. But first I'm going to tell us like this point of view from a school owner and a teacher. It's a lot easier because you only need one time slot for all the European kids, right? And the teachers, they only have to learn one lesson plan and one curriculum for all the kids. So yeah, that's a lot less preparation. And every year the kid gets to get a new book. It's not just whatever one, whatever book two, whatever book three, but they are different books. So just it get them excited like a lot. And then when we mix them together, I see a very, 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 very good advantage is that, you all know why Japanese people cannot speak English, right? So I'm from Hong Kong, so I know how it feels learning a new language. And I know what is about a shimakuni. Come on, we are shimakuni as well. We are an island. Singapore is an island. Everyone is an island. But Japanese people, because they do not want to make mistakes, right? Especially these little kids, they were not encouraged to make mistakes. They're encouraged to be the same as everyone. So the problem is when you have this like little K1 kids, the 3 years old kids come in, they become onigiri, they don't speak at all. But when you mix them up with the K3 kids who are like, 6 years old, and then the 6 years old, they speak a lot, okay? When they come into the class, they start to tell you, right? I don't want to know that, but they really want to speak up. Then the good thing is like when the bigger kids speak up, the smaller kids feel like it's easier for them to speak up. And they really, really want to like be like the bigger kids. They like, they just like, oh, it's okay that I can speak up as well. I can be noisy as well. And, I want to be like them. And for the bigger kids, is the best thing is like, they know that for the small kids, when they make mistakes, the teachers still encourage them. So for the bigger kids, they know that, oh, it's completely okay to make mistakes. And that's the thing that Japanese people cannot get through, they're just like, oh, I cannot make a mistake. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. No. So when you put the 6-year-old and the 3-year together, they will just speak, and they don't care what they are talking. They don't care whether their grammar or whatever is correct. That's the basic of learning a new language. Don't you agree? Okay, so to make this happen, you have to have a curriculum that actually can fit into this. So at the beginning, I actually make my own curriculum, and it's kind of difficult. It's not difficult, it's just like very time consuming. Why this curriculum will work, especially for kindergarten kids, because like they're mostly learning vocabularies, right? So it doesn't matter that this year you're learning animals and next year you're learning food, or you learn food first and then animal later. It doesn't really matter, right? And a lot of the things that they're learning, like the sentence structures, they're actually repetitive, right? So this is what we do. So when we have these kids, like really big, really small ones, they mix together, they talk, and they become very noisy. I'm sorry. So after a while, I found this curriculum that helps me. So the Magic House helps me. You have your own curriculum, of course, that works as well. But this one is just everything is already settled. So you have stories and songs and everything together. So for us, 1 year we will use Sam's Magic House, and the next year it will be Jimmy's Magic House, and the next year will be Jill and Jay's Magic House. So it's kind of exciting that you get a new character, but like kind of the same. Like some people, like some mom and dad, they look the same, but like all the little kids are different. So it gets them quite like excited about it. Okay, so when we talk about how to open their mouth, I want to have a little foreign language battle with you guys. So I want to ask, like, can anyone participate with me? Can you unmute yourself if you can join me? Yeah, okay. So I want to know if anyone knows Mandarin. No, just give you a no. Okay, anyone knows Cantonese? No. Okay, great. Okay, so so you guys are all English teachers, right? So you know how to teach and you know how to learn, right? And today you will be my very, very great students. Okay, but I'm going to teach you Cantonese. That is the language from Hong Kong. That is one of the most difficult. No, Adam, you're going to stay.
You can do it.
You can do it. So I want you to just feel how it is for a little kid to, to learn a new language that they don't think is useful to them, because it's mommy who wants them to put in there. They don't care, right? So I'm going to teach you a few words, okay? So please try to repeat, okay? The first one is called 早晨. Try that.
早晨.
Oh, you're good. Wendy, you're good. Adam, can you say that again?
早晨.
Oh, you're good. Come on. 早晨. Okay.
早晨.
Yeah, Ellie, you're muted. Okay, 早晨. Okay, that means good morning. That's pretty easy, right? 早晨. How many sounds are there?
3.
3? Actually, it's just 早晨. It's 2 words.
早晨.
It's like 2 kanji there, like 早晨. Okay, 早晨. Remember that 早晨, that's good morning, easy peasy. So I'm going to teach you another one lesson. 你好靚女.
Oof.
Try that.
你好，
你好，靚女。
靚女，
Leho. No.
你好，靚女，
One more time. One more time.
Sure. Okay, I'll split it into two. Okay, two parts. 你好，
Lay.
Leho.
靚女。
No.
Okay, great. 你好，靚女。
你好，靚女，
No.
Oh,
No.
great. Adam is like, oh. Okay,
What does it
你
mean?
好. I'm not going to tell you now.
Ah,
I'm going to tell you later, but I promise, Adam, that will be a phrase that you will use a lot in your life.
okay.
Okay, so again, the first one is 早晨.
早晨，
Josan.
早晨, like
Awesome.
two syllables, right? And 你好，靚女.
Leho.
Lay ho,
No.
I know.
Great. So how many syllables are there in 你好，靚女?
Leho.
4.
Four.
Four. Okay. So I'm going to do this. So now I'm going to call out someone's name. So we have Ellie, we have Ryan, we have Adam, we have Wendy here. Whoever can speak, just unmute yourself. And if you say, you can say any of these, like, you can say any, like Joseon or Neholan, and then I'll give you a point. Okay, this is the guys team and this is the girls team. Okay, so let's see which team will get more points. So we have 2-2 here. Okay, so okay, let's go. Adam, can you say something?
Lay ho, lang no.
Great. Okay, good. I'm giving you 4 stars
points.
here. Yay. And Ellie.
Chosen. No.
Joseon. Yeah, Joseon. That's great.
Chosen.
You get 2. Okay, you get 2.
Sorry.
Who wants to join in? Ryan?
Sure. Which the boys' one is what? They holding.
Neholan. Okay, Neholan. Okay, that's great. Who wants to try? Wendy, do you want to try?
你好，靚女，
Oh, great. That's a Peter. Peter, are you here? No, he's not here. Can you say Neholan or Joseon? He's asleep. Okay, Adam, help him out, please.
Joseon.
Joseon. Okay, it's Joseon. Okay, Ellie.
No, wait.
Neholan. Great. Ryan?
Okay, what's that?
Joseon.
Okay. Wendy?
Joseon,
Joseon. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone wants to try? Last one. 3, 2, 1. Adam.
Lay ho, lang nang. I screwed it up. Sorry. Lay ho, lang no.
Okay. So let's see how many points do we have. Okay, for the guys, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you have 16. And girls, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, great. So the guys win. So this is usually the time that I give you chocolate. I'm going to give you chocolate, virtual chocolates. Come get them. Okay, so what I want to say is, okay, did you realize that when you say Joseon, I give you 2 stars?
Yeah.
And when you say Leho Langnoi, and then I give you most of the time, I give you 4. And at the end, you tend to say Leho Langnoi, even though it's longer, right? So that's exactly, I know a lot of times we tell that, for kids, you don't give them like candies or points or whatever. Yes, sorry, Maria. Okay. Yeah. So it's actually, sometimes you still have to encourage the kids. It's the same as saying good job and well done, right? So you said Leho Lando and you got 4 points. And then at the end, I see a lot of people is trying to say Leho Lando instead of Joseon, right? And Leho Lando actually means you are very pretty. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for saying that I'm
You
so
tricked
pretty.
us.
Right. So we're talking about like how to open the kid's mouth, right? And let's see. Okay. So look at this, like we'll go back into English here. Number 1, excuse me, 2 words. Number 2, my name is Doris. Number 3, may I have a candy, please? 6 words. Okay, so which one do you think the kids are more willing to say? Which one? Excuse me, or my name is Doris. Oh, may I have a candy, please?
A shorter one.
Right, shorter one. Actually, the kids all of my kids can say, may I have a candy, please, or may I have a point, please. They never say, excuse me, they don't care. They push me away, right? So why?
Repetition.
It's not just repetition. I found out that even if you say a lot of times, good morning, they may say good morning back to you. They may not, but
Kids bribe them.
actually you actually kind of bribe them. It's more on like whether they want to say it, right? So
There's a
if you
purpose
give
for it.
them a candy, there's a purpose for it, right?
Yeah.
And in our classes, we give them a lot of imaginary stuff. So, it's kind of like, may I have a rabbit, please? And then we'll say, okay, here you are. And then you hold on the rabbit, right? Oh, nice. And then the next time I ask the other kids, okay, now I have like, I don't know, I have a puppy who wants a dog. And then this little kid will say, oh, but what do I do with my rabbit? I'm still holding my rabbits, they're so into it.
Yeah, because I can't change this.
Right. So even if you don't give them something real, they are
No, I'm
actually
trying
very
to listen
happy
to
to
like
get it.
2 meetings here. So
So they are still very happy to get it. So so it's all about whether they want to say it. So I always say, give them the each. Give them the reason for them to want to say something, right? So if I say, may I have a candy, please? And you get a candy, then you want to say something, right? So that's very important. But how do you make them? You cannot give them a candy every single time. So how do you make them want to say that? So this is what Scott said, emotional positioning. Can you please read that? No one's going to read it for me. No. Okay, Ryan, you need
Okay,
some new glasses.
I'll read it. I'll be the stereotypical guy jumping up to volunteer.
Thank you, Ryan.
All
So
right.
usually when I do it in like a bigger meeting, they will say that, hey, the words are too small, right?
Mhm.
Right? They will say
Right.
the words are too small. So this is actually part of emotional positioning. So emotional positioning is just, it's just a fancy word to say that I trick you into a situation that you want to say something. Okay. So this is actually what emotional positioning means. So you can read it by yourself. You guys are all English teachers. So it's the same as if I go come and punch you, you will say, ouch, right? If I just come and go kiss you, you say, why, what? So you just create a situation for kids or for your students to want to react. And they want to say something about it, right? And they need to understand what they're saying too. That's important too. So within the Magic House series, there are a lot of stories because this is story-based curriculum. So for example, we have this story about like these animals jumping on the sofa and then falling off the sofa and then doing bad stuff. And if we want to teach the students the language they need, which is don't. So we teach them, okay, the horse is jumping on the sofa and we say, don't jump. That's very easy, right? So they say, don't jump. And one time when I have another student making a lot of noise and fussing around, the other kids would say, Taishi, don't. They don't even know what's the next word to connect to it, right? They don't know, don't shout, don't speak, don't talk, but they just say, don't, because that's something that they already know and they want to say, right? For example, like I think you all know the Big Green Monster, right? So you sing the song, you make the monster and it's kind of fun and you say, go away, right? So when they learn go away, we start to give them like this little thing. Okay, we say, okay, for example, bees, then they will say, go away because we come close to them. And if we give them the card that is a caterpillar or like, a rabbit, they will say, go away. No. And they will say, come here. So it's only go away and come here. And that's already a conversation. It's conversation. They are actually, saying what they want and people understand what they want to say. And they're happy because they're achieving something instead of saying something you asked them to say. So I want to say that repeating is not speaking, right? I repeat what you say. I can read anything. I can like, blah, 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 and I can say that, but I'm not learning anything and I'm not going to do that in the future. So I'm not speaking. So I'm going to show you. Do I have it here? Okay, I'm sure later. So let me see if I have it here. Okay. So this is what Scott does. These are my kids. These are my Yotian kids. So one time Scott came over and wants to like do a demonstration cards with my kids, and I gave him the noisiest, most difficult for little boys. Okay, so let's see how he does it. I'm going to put it into video. Okay.
Sleepy? Yes, I'm sleepy. Should I go to the kitchen? No! Should I go to the bathroom? No! Bedroom. Yeah, let's tell Jimmy, okay? Go to the bedroom. Go to the bedroom. Okay, I'll go to the bedroom. No! Oh, thank you. Let's all say, watch out! Watch out! One more time. Watch out! Here he comes.
Okay, that was really short, huh? Okay, so you saw the kids saying, watch out, right? No one said, watch out, please. No one said, repeat after me, watch out. But because we have taught them watch out, and they really want to say that because they really think that they have control over things. Okay, they think that they have control over things. So that's why they want to say it. Okay, so the skills that I've learned to make young learners speak naturally, number one is to open their mouth. So to achieve that is we put into a mixed age and mixed level class and a circular curriculum to support them. And number two is give them the itch. So, you know, they really want to say it, they really want to say it. And that's called emotional positioning. Okay, that's 1, 2. And number 3 is give them the words. Okay, so this is an IKEA job interview. Please have a seat. So if sometimes they really want to express something, especially, those of you who can speak Japanese, don't you feel that sometimes that, your mind is being limited by language and you feel so frustrated because you want to say something and you're not able to say that. And at the end, you just don't want to say anything anymore because it's just so tiring, right? So what you need to do is give them the words. Okay, so of course we all know like scaffolding. First you teach them, give them a flashcard that say spider, and then afterwards maybe 2 weeks later you teach them a spider, and then another 2 weeks later you can level up to become like half a sentence. That's there's a spider. Level 4 you can teach them there's a spider under the bed. Okay, so here is quite long. But that's the beauty when you mix the kids together, because the 6 years old, they would be in our classes for 3 years, or if they just joined like from like 2 years ago, they still have a lot more English in them and they are just smarter because they're bigger, right? So at that time, the most important thing to do is to just differentiate. Okay, these are the bigger kids. If they say there's a spider under the bed, of course you say, whoa, bravo, that's great, good job. What about a 3-year-old? If a 3-year-old come up to you and say, spider, then you also say, good job, right? So if you say it like that, then the good thing for the kids is that, the small kids knows that they will still be praised even they cannot say the whole sentences. Then afterwards, you go to the big kids and say, spider, there's a spider. And then they will be so like, like I can do it. And then they will say, there's a spider under the bed because I'm not this little babu baby anymore. I can do it better than you do. So that naturally gives them, like the motivation to remember and to actually speak up. Okay, so number 4 is catchball. So if I say something to you, like a lot of times when you talk to Japanese, it's like you ask them, what's your favorite color? They say pink. And they never ask you anymore. So that's it. That's the end of your conversation, right? So number 4 is like, you got to make sure they actually can roll it into a bigger snowball. So they actually can talk to each other so that they think that this is actually useful for them. So what you do is you just put your words together and put your emotional positioning together and mix it up together. For example, we had like a little toy kitchen. So there's a little stove. So we say, don't touch. Okay, don't touch. And then they will already say, why? Why? And someone will say, hot. And the bigger kids will say, it's hot. because they really want to say that. And in the book, there's something called a super scene that combine all these elements that you have taught them like beforehand. So before that, you taught them like the words and the sentence structures, and then they put them together. So you just saw Scott do that. So like, the kids will say, I'm sleepy. And then the kids will say, go to bed. And then Jimmy is the character. Jimmy says, okay, good night. Students say, good night. And then when Jimmy approached the bed, there is a spider on the bed. And naturally they would say, watch out. Why they say that? Because they think that they are so very smart that they can see a spider that no one can see. Only them can see, like no one else. The grown-ups cannot see. They're so smart. So they will say, watch out. And that's important that the teacher will have to say, watch out, because you have to play dumb, but also let them say something. The student will say, yes. The teacher will say, why? And the student will say, spider. Spider? They will say, there's a spider. And you say, there's a spider? They say, yes. So, and then Jimmy said, where? The kids will say, under. Underwear? Under the bed? Under the bed. And then the teacher said, oh, okay. Oh, look. And, you just pull a card that has a spider in it. And then the kids will say, go away. So they actually, there's not a lot of words that they're actually using. There's not a lot of words they actually have to remember, but they are making like a full conversation, and that makes like very different. Okay, we just saw this. Okay, so I'm coming back to this.
Can I say something really quick?
Okay, yeah, anytime.
I thought that's really
But you have
cool.
to say Lei Ho Lan No first.
Lei Ho Lan No.
Yay.
I'm practicing silently with my mic off. Looks like I'm eating a sandwich. I'm really practicing now. I think that's really cool, what you were just describing, and I just wanted to say that it's a technique that's used in a lot of classic fairy tales as well, like Little Red Riding Hood. Yeah. Everyone who's watching that, that the wolf is in Grandma's house before Little Red Riding Hood does, right? And it creates a lot of tension and excitement for kids to kind of be in the know and to see the characters kind of walking into a situation. They want to shout and they want to get involved, and so yeah, it's really, really cool. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, thank you. I totally know that. So I've been living in Denmark for 2 years, and I thought Cantonese was the most difficult language in the world, and Danish was just horrible. They speak like this. Okay, but I after 2 years, I thought I already know 4 languages. If I learn another language, it would not be that difficult. But no, so I went to Berlitz and learned Danish. Okay, so but then when I came back, people asked, do you know Danish? I say, yeah, not much, but I can have a full conversation, right? And they say, oh, show me. And I would tell them, okay, in Danish, when you want to say hi is hi. Okay, let's repeat, hi. Okay, so that's hi, okay? And when you say goodbye is hi. So just with one sound, hi, and hi. So I said hi and goodbye. So just give me, like, I feel like I'm so good in Danish. I can finish everything, right? And Adam, when you talk about the fairy tales, like the 3 Little Pigs, right? Everyone can say that, right? But the problem is, like, for me, when I taught like little K1 3-year-old kids, they will not speak up. They just, even if you repeat it like 1,000 times, they just will not speak. They may watch someone else, but they will not speak up. But when you put them together with the bigger kids, they actually will want to speak up, and they feel good to be able to say something, right? So have you been listening to what I've been saying? Yes. Okay, so let's recap a bit. So first, the skill, the number 1 is to open their mouth. So you mix them together and have a curricular that can actually support that. Number 2, you give them the each. You put in emotional positioning, which means you create a situation that they make them want to say something, either because they think that they're really smart when they say that, or they will get something, or they will lose something, right? And number 3 is to give them the words. So by scaffolding, bit by bit, and do not expect that to happen in a day. It has to be like, after 2 weeks, they will be able to put them all together. And number 4, make sure they can do the catchball, which is you have to put in lead-in questions, because these kids are too small that they actually don't care about how you feel, what you think. They don't. So you kind of need to lead them into answering you. Right? But then the question is like, oh, they do so well in this class. And then next week is like, they just don't remember a thing because they have so many things to do in their life. So what's important, I think you all know, is to repeat, to recycle, and to reuse. I see a lot of curriculum is like, this week we are going to do food. And next week we are going to use 5 minutes to do revision. And next week we are going to do something else. Then these kids, like they absorb things really fast, but they forget things like in just a millisecond. Then if you don't repeat it, that's great. But if you don't recycle and reuse it in the future curriculum, it's very, very hard for them to actually retain them, right? So for this curriculum with the Magic House, we have stories, and then the vocabularies, TPR, there's like grammar and sight words and songs. And so everything is together. That's the thing that actually makes me really happy is that you can see, for example, we have been learning about bugs, there's a spider and there's a bee and go away. And these bugs will come back in the next series. So 4 months later, you'll see the bee doing something like funny in another story. So they will be reminded of the bees as well when, it will just not leave them just so easily. By the way, I do not write this curriculum. So I do not sell them. Scott does, but I'm just a big fan. So if I say something good, so you can trust me. If I say something's not good, PM me, direct mail, right? Okay, so I'd like to tell you what this Magic House book is about. So what I like about it is because this is a story-based storybook, story-based curriculum. So there's no a lot of other books are just you open chapter 1 and lesson 1, there's like 4 different words or 6 different words and then 1 sentence. So it could be apples, apple, banana, orange, and grape. And then the word will be I like grapes. I like orange, and that's it. And then there may be a song and some phonics towards it. And then a lot of times we will want to put in a storybook as well because there wasn't any story in the curriculum. But Magic House is a book that is actually, if you open the book, it looks like it's just a storybook. But that's where the kids are super excited about that because it's a story every single time. And the stories are kind of funny and crazy. There are a lot of falling in the mud and stuff like that. So kids love that. Okay, so and then there is TPR, total physical response. So in this story, so you saw that, sorry, I'm going back a little bit. So you saw the story is like Jimmy, this is Jimmy's magic house, and then Jimmy's go on the room and then he climb on the bed and then he look out the window and there are a lot of bugs around there and the bugs was chasing him and he screamed and stuff like that, right? And then the TPR is not just like, oh, big, small, because those things are not connected and people just cannot remember it. But this TPR is actually a summary of the story, okay? So for me, it doesn't matter how small the kids are. All my 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, they are able to say this without, of course they cannot read, and without prompts, okay? Sometimes you have like that, but they can say this by themselves, okay? So let's see if I have this here. Okay, let's see.
Ready? Go to the bedroom. Sleep. Good, good. And let's all say sleep. Good. Wake up. And let's use our gestures. Bump. Okay, we say wake up. Good. One more time. Go to the bedroom. Good. Sleep. Wake up. Climb. Good. Climb on the bed. Good. Open the window. Look outside. Oh no! There's a bee. But let's run away. Okay, ready? Let's run. Oh no! Let's all sit down. 5.
that's Scott's doing TPR. So yeah, so the kids actually can say it by themselves. I have not asked them to memorize it, but they are so excited. So usually we run around and then, we try to find the seats that, so you are safe. Okay, and we have Magic House, because I have always been doing online classes, like even before COVID. And online classes is kind of a bit difficult for little kids, but we have been able to do it very effectively. And we have Magic House, they have all the videos that are for this word and sentence repetition. So they actually can study that at home. And when they come, we actually use it. We don't have to teach them anymore. And there are songs, there are quick craft, and there are phonics, there's homework. And homework is kind of like this. And I want to show you something. Let me see. Let's see if I can show you something from. Give me a second. Okay. I don't think my computer is helping me now. But anyway, so we have. So when you do the homework, if you look at that homework, you can see that. Can you still see my screen? Can you still see my slide? Because my computer's jumping here. And there.
Yeah, we can see it, but it's not in presentation mode. It's in the regular. There you go.
Okay. So so like this kind of
Actually,
homework.
it's in presenter mode, but okay.
Okay, I will switch that. How does that work now?
Perfect.
Better? Okay, so homework is kind of like this. So one thing about homework is very easy that they just go home and color it. And they're not learning any English at all, right? So what we do is we actually make videos for them to actually look at it at home. We encourage moms to talk about it. And Scott actually wrote everything, like the script for moms to actually talk about it. So what they will do is like go home and say, oh, look, we have bugs here. What is this? Oh, this is a caterpillar. What color is it? It's a red. Oh, it's not a caterpillar. It's a red ladybug. So what's the next? And blah, blah, blah. So, and then actually this will be like, a page for them to practice the conversation instead of just coloring it. For me, when I was like, when my kid was younger, it was a bit hard for me to find something to talk to her because like her day is always just the same. What did you do at the Yochi? And there's nothing, there's nothing much. So this would be like, for me, I expected the mom to say that, oh, this is too hard for us. There's too much work for us. But actually the moms come back and tell us that this is something nice that they can do together as a family. So they have a reason to talk to the kids and they really like it. Okay, so to recap, should I show you or should I not show you? Let's see, who can tell me? Okay, so this is what I thought. That how do you make the very young learners speak naturally? Okay, so number one is to open their mouth. Okay, tell me, how do you open their mouth? Someone please, someone please. I don't like to talk to air. It's already here, you can see that.
You said mixed age classes. So
Yeah.
the Ninshu, everyone all mixed up. So they find
Yes.
that kind of
I'm gonna
inside motivation. I don't know, like
Perfect.
encouragement from the older kids.
Perfect. Okay, and the second, you give them the itch, so they want to speak. So how do you do that?
Emotional positioning.
Yay, and what does that mean, that fancy word?
Just getting them to want to say, react to something.
Yeah. Well, to trick them into saying something. So you have to put it in the situation,
Sure.
It's kind of like when you want to, get a girl and you create a romantic situation so you can tell her, I love you, right? Okay. And number three, you have to give them the words. And how do you give them the words? So give them bit by bit. Don't expect them to say whole sentences, but don't give up in the middle, right? They will put them together if you do it well. Number four, catch ball. How do you do that? Anyone, please? No one's listening. No one's speaking to me. So this is important that you have to lead in, you have to intervene and you have to give them leading questions so they know what to speak next, right? And repetition. So you need a curriculum that has everything that comes back to you, have, reuse and recycle it. Okay. So this is something extra. I'd like to tell you as a non-native speaker of English. In Japan, when you learn English, they say, this is a pen. Okay. I don't know. Can you guys tell me, have you ever in your life say that this is a pen? I don't think I have ever said that in my own language. Okay. In my country, which is Hong Kong, which was British before, we learned, hello, my name is Doris. I am a girl. I'm like, seriously? I have to tell you that I'm a girl. You know? So these are not English that makes sense, okay? And that just get me so angry. Okay, so but you still want to teach them a boy and a girl, right? You still want to teach them because that's very important. So please find a way that make it make sense, okay? For example, like, you know, I will say, oh, let's see, do you like chocolate or do you like rabbits, okay? Ellie, do you like chocolate? Yes. Okay, so Ellie say yes. So I will say, oh, yes. So Ellie is a girl and she likes chocolate, right? So I'm going to put a heart on the girl. Okay. Oh, she likes chocolate, right? And then I will ask, Adam, do you like chocolate?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Adam, great. You like chocolate too. You're a girl. So let's put, another heart on a girl.
I'm a boy.
Exactly. So that's, especially for boys, they really have to tell you that I am a boy, I'm not a girl. So that's something so important to them. So this makes the whole like girl and boy, I am a girl, I'm a boy thing a lot more natural, and it makes a lot more sense. And I don't know, just maybe it's just me. I just hate it when people come to me and say that I am a girl. No, I mean, like, unless you are, in between, you don't have to tell people that I'm a girl, right? Never, ever. Okay. Okay, so I don't think we have much time here, so I'm going to skip a lot of things. The next thing I want to say is just my personal opinion as well. I love storybooks. I love Macy. Okay, and if you can see, Macy books are like this, right? What's the problem here? Do you think a kid who grew up with just Macy books can speak fluently? The problem here is you guys, when you are, native speakers, Americans, and, everyone, you have the environment around you that people speak English. So on top of that, you use picture books. So that's why they have like a total solution that, the kids will like learn how to read, learn how to write, learn how to speak. But for a non-native speaker, if we just read picture books, we'll never be able to speak. Because why? Because we have never seen or heard anyone speak to each other. Because we don't watch anything in English. We don't watch movies. We go on the street, no one is talking to each other in English, right? So please make sure you have some picture books, or if you use the Magic House, it's always conversations. They're talking to each other. You have to show kids how people talk to each other. Like this one, they say, oh, Mom, I want something, I want to make salad. And they say, look left, look right, let's go, watch out for the car. So this is something that we still use every single year during my summer school and stuff. When they cross the street, they actually still do that. So this is something they can use, and they actually can see how people talk to each other. I think this is a point that a lot of native speaker like teachers do not realize. They think that, if we tell them no present tense, past tense, they will be able to talk. No, you have to show them how to talk. Okay. And if you have to go on online teaching, Scott has all this cute PowerPoint made and all the games, all the stories. This is a story. This is Jill and Jay. And then there will be like
Jill and Jay's Magic House
vocabulary.
Book 2. Talking flashcards. Rooms. Unit 5. Living room. Living room. I'm in the living room.
So we make the kids watch that at home. And the games will be on slide as well. And it's quite well made. So you have to guess who is this, and they will say this is mommy. And this is hide and seek. So you have to find something. Where is it? In the bathroom? Is it in the bedroom? And you can find out it's under the bed. He is in the bathtub. So you use all the prepositions and everything together. Ta-da! Ta-da! She's upside down. And phonics. So Yeah, you just keep the kitchen. Okay, so I got to rush a bit because this is the end of the time. So any other questions that you'd like to say, you'd like to ask? Just unmute yourself and just speak. Nope.
Not so much a question, but I think that's really cool. I love the recycling bit in it is what's really impressive, because I've done lots of teaching with storybooks before, and it's very difficult to pair them up so that the kids are going to get another exposure. And if looking at how the brain remembers things and how vocabulary becomes active, it's when you get connections to lots of different things that it becomes something that they can actually recall. So if you see it just once on a flashcard, that becomes it's not connected to anything. So it's very hard for kids to kind of recall unless they're getting that stimulus, right? So it's really nice that it's kind of recycling things and kind of changing the contexts little by little.
Yeah, and especially